Today, I'll be reacting to Pippen versus Jordan, the saddest beef in NBA history. This should be interesting, so let's go right into the video.
Do you think that Michael Jordan would be as successful without you?
No.
In 2009, when Michael Jordan entered the Basketball Hall of Fame, the first person he mentioned and thanked was Scottie Pippen.
You never just saw me, saw Scottie Pippen.
Next year, it was Michael who presented Scottie to the Hall of Fame. When Pippen worked on ESPN and had to do a LeBron versus Jordan comparison, Pippen said this.
And there's no game that I would ever play in and pick LeBron James over Michael Jordan.
But this was in 2018, when Scottie and Michael's relationship seemed like the happiest marriages. While Jordan was known to be a harsh teammate who bullied players and even punched Steve Kerr in the face, we never heard those kinds of stories about Scottie. And then came the pandemic, and the sporting world stopped.
He has just tweeted within the past 2 minutes that the NBA is suspending the season.
Deprived of anything to cheer for, Netflix offered a 10-episode salvation for all sports fans. It was The Last Dance, a long-awaited documentary about the last season of the Bulls dynasty, with behind-the-scenes footage nobody had ever seen before. And when the documentary came out,
That documentary was fire, by the way. That Last Dance documentary was fire. That's still probably one of my favorite sports documentaries. That documentary was sweet. I love The Last Dance. That documentary was fire.
behind-the-scenes footage nobody had ever seen before. And when the documentary came out, that's when Scottie's and Michael Jordan's relationship started to change. See, The Last Dance wasn't really a basketball documentary. It was more like basketball was just a means to an end, and where historic NBA events were used to tell a preset narrative. And that narrative was to glorify the cult of Michael Jordan and his place as the basketball GOAT.
Yeah, that pretty much was the documentary, though. Even though they try to make it sound like it was the Bulls, like it talked about the Bulls last season, it pretty much was surrounded about Michael Jordan. It was still fire, though. That documentary was trying to change the mind of LeBron fans to say that Jordan the GOAT. LeBron's still my GOAT, though, but I can't say that documentary was fire, though. That documentary was sweet. I also liked it, too, because you get to see Michael Jordan talk, one of the greatest players ever, and I liked it, like seeing like the behind the scenes, like action, too. That was sweet. I like that documentary.
Narrative was to glorify the cult of Michael Jordan and his place as the basketball GOAT. The Last Dance presented basketball in a way that can be understood by non-basketball fans and casuals. It was directed in a way that puts an individual over a team, which is not surprising, considering that director Jason Hare needed Jordan's approval to make the film, and that Jordan's presence in the film was conditioned by his control over the content. The Last Dance minimized the roles of Jordan's teammates, not properly explaining that MJ had by far the best supporting cast in the NBA. The documentary
Yeah, so far this video is facts, though. It is facts. I still like the documentary, but yeah, it did kind of like minimize his teammates. Like, I also like what this guy said. Michael Jordan definitely had one of the greatest supporting casts ever. So yeah, so far, the start of this video, the guy's saying facts for sure. He's saying facts.
explaining that MJ had by far the best supporting cast in the NBA. The documentary never mentioned that Steve Kerr was the most accurate three-point shooter of all time, that Horace Grant made 4 all-defensive teams, or that Tony Kukoc was the best European player and the most versatile power forward in the NBA. The doc barely mentioned a defensive ace Ron Harper, and they completely failed to say a single thing about center Luke Longley. Dennis Rodman got a lot of screen time, but much less as the best rebounder in NBA history, and more of a party animal that Jordan needed to drag by the ears from Carmen Electra's hotel room. But the player who was most heard about the whole thing was Scottie Pippen, and it's not hard to see why.
I had a ruptured tendon in my ankle, and I decided to have surgery late because I was like, you know what? I'm not going to my summer up trying to rehab for a season.
Scottie Pippen of the Bulls will be out for 2 to 3 months.
What Scottie was trying to do was trying to force management to change his contract. And Jerry wasn't going to do that.
MJ called out Pippen as being selfish for delaying surgery. That season, Jordan was making $33 million, while Scottie was earning just $2.7 million.
Dang! Oh, what? What? No! No! Okay, I know the documentary did Scottie dirty, but what? Oh, that's wild. The team did him dirty. That is crazy. What? MJ making $33 million. Scottie was almost making $3 million. What? That is crazy. No, that's wild. Yeah, now I know why Scottie was mad. Yeah, that's wild. Yeah, come on. You can't wait, hold up. You can't blame Scottie for being mad at that. I'm the second best player on this team and we getting rings and I'm getting $3 million while MJ, I'm supposed to help making 33. If MJ making 33, Scottie should at least make 25. At least make 25. I'll say 25 to 30. But that should be his lowest 25. Like, come on, 3 million pretty much. That's insane. Yeah, come on, you can't get mad at Scottie for that. You can't get mad at Scottie for that. Come on, anybody would be mad at that. 3 million. Oh my gosh, I'm getting mad. That's not even my money. Oh man, that is crazy. Whoa, the drop off. It is insane. Ain't no way. Now, I will admit that documentary did make Scottie look like a bad person, though. It did, though. I ain't gonna lie. It did. Like, I liked it because it emphasized MJ, but I was always curious about Michael Jordan, him as a person. Maybe that's why I liked it. But I will admit, it did make his teammates and Scottie Pippen, it didn't make them look the greatest. It didn't. I still like the documentary, though. But, yeah, it did make everybody else that helped MJ along the way look bad. It did. I'm just being honest. The documentary's still fire. I'll watch all them 10, I guess, episodes. Yeah, I'll say it was like episodes pretty much, or parts. I would still watch them 10 parts all over again, though. I still would. Nah, but, yeah, 3 million compared to 33 million. Yeah, now I know why Scottie was mad. That's wild.
MJ called out Pippen as being selfish for delaying surgery. That season, Jordan was making $33 million, while Scottie was earning just $2.7 million. While the second episode of the documentary did center around Scottie and his unbelievably hard road to the NBA, in the end, the focus of the narrative quickly returned to MJ. And despite being so Jordan-centric, The Last Dance was a successful project because it achieved 3 goals. It managed to entertain and occupy the sports world in the biggest absence of sports since the 1860s. It served as a nostalgia for the people who lived through the Bulls dynasty, and it revitalized the interest in Jordan among the younger generations. If we look
Facts. See, that's why I liked it. He just pretty much said it. I was already interested to learn more about Michael Jordan, so watching that documentary, it got me interested, and that's why I liked it so much. So yeah, that was perfect. I'm glad he said that.
1860s. It served as a nostalgia for the people who lived through the Bulls dynasty, and it revitalized the interest in Jordan among the younger generations. If we look at the doc as an entertaining story for the masses, The Last Dance absolutely killed and knocked it out of the park. But in terms of explaining basketball nuances and strengthening relationships between the Bulls players, The Last Dance backfired completely. In May 2020, after the last episode aired, Jordan sent a rare text to Scottie Pippen. "What's up, dude? I'm getting a word that you're upset with me. Love to talk about it if you have time." Pippen did call him back and explained his displeasure with how the rest of the Bulls were portrayed. When asked about it, Scottie backtracked a little bit. "This documentary has not changed our relationship. We will be friends forever. I told Michael I wasn't too pleased with The Last Dance. He accepted it. He said, 'Hey, you're right.' That was pretty much it. But it wasn't it, and this comment aged badly really quickly." In 2021,
I will admit, like, for entertainment-wise, it was good, but yeah, I understand why some teammates was mad at that. I completely understand.
And this comment aged badly really quickly. In 2021, Pippen started to unravel his feelings about Jordan, issuing a series of comments during the promotion of his autobiography titled Unguarded. Scottie told a story about how Jordan used to cheat him out of $100 during each Bulls game by bribing the staff to tell him who was going to win Jumbotron races. During a GQ interview, Pip accused Jordan of being selfish for leaving the Bulls to pursue a baseball career.
What did you think when he said he was going to go play baseball?
Yeah, it was a big decision, but it was a selfish decision, but it was kind of who Michael Jordan was.
Implying that he spent too much time grieving the death of his father. Scottie also downplayed Jordan's flu game, saying that he didn't receive any praise for playing the 1998 finals with a herniated disc. But the biggest criticism about Jordan the player was when Pippen said that the Bulls didn't win 6 rings because of MJ, and that they did it in spite of him. Seeing again how poorly Michael...
Okay, yeah, Scottie, yeah. Yeah, Scotty, he was talking about MJ though. Yeah, during that time, yeah, he was going crazy talking about MJ. Like, I'm being honest. I think Scottie Pippen, I think he was mad at MJ about that documentary though. But also, again, no, I think he was saying those comments just like because he had a book at that time. Usually when people have books coming up and bring attention, they say comments that might be out the way. So yeah, like you said, he had a book coming out, so he started talking. And it bring more attention to his name and bring more attention to that book, and people start buying the book. So yeah, if that was Scottie Pippen's goal, I think it worked. I think his book was a big success. I think it was. I don't know, but I think it was. Especially how he was talking during that time. I wouldn't be surprised a lot of people bought that book. I wouldn't be surprised. But I mainly think that was Scottie Pippen's goal, though. Like, I don't think Scottie disliked Michael Jordan. He probably was angry at him, but I don't think he disliked him at that time, though. I think he was just saying the comments to promote his book. That's my opinion, though. Y'all can put y'all thoughts in the comments. That's my opinion, though.
And that they did it in spite of him. Seeing again how poorly Michael treated his teammates, I cringed, as I did back then. We didn't win 6 championships because he was tough with the guys. We won in spite of his bullying. We won because we played team basketball, which hadn't been the case my first 2 seasons when Doug Collins was our coach. In his book, Scottie also changed his perspective on the LeBron versus Jordan debate. I may go as far as to say Mike ruined basketball. In the 80s on the playgrounds, you'd have everyone moving the ball around, passing to help the team. That stopped in the 90s. Kids wanted to be like Mike. And Mike didn't want to pass, didn't want to rebound, or defend the best player. He wanted everything done for him. That's why I always believed LeBron James was the greatest player this game has ever seen. He does everything and embodies what the game is truly about.
Okay, now I do think LeBron is the GOAT. Now, Michael Jordan, I'm not saying he ruined basketball. Like, in my opinion, Michael Jordan elevated basketball. Like I said in like my past videos, I think Magic and Larry Bird opened the door to like basketball being popular. Then I think Michael Jordan just went through the door. Basketball popularity got huge when Michael Jordan. I always say that I don't think he ruined basketball. I do think LeBron the GOAT though. If you think Michael Jordan the GOAT, I'm not mad at you. I'm not mad at you. That's your opinion. I understand. I just think LeBron better. Now, Scottie Pippen, I would say to a point. I'm not saying Michael Jordan disliked guarding the best player. He didn't like pass it. Michael Jordan wanted all the smoke. You can tell. Michael Jordan wanted all the smoke. Michael Jordan was that guy. But I'm saying like his role though. Michael Jordan was a great defender and a great scorer. Scotty's job was to pass and defend the best player. That was their roles. If Michael Jordan had to guard the best player, I don't think he would have complained about it. Like, if you told Michael Jordan to pass the ball and focus on passing the basketball, it might be weird for him, but I still think he would have done his job well. I still think he would have done well. I don't think he would have been mad at it because Michael Jordan, he want to win at the end of the day. That's what I got from Michael Jordan. He's going to win at the end of the day, like any means necessary. That's what I got from Michael Jordan.
Wanted everything done for him. That's why I always believed LeBron James was the greatest player this game has ever seen. He does everything and embodies what the game is truly about. The rest of the book was even more critical about Jordan and The Last Dance, saying that every episode was the same. Michael on a pedestal, his teammates secondary, referred to as his supporting cast. Michael could shoot 6 for 24 from the field, commit 5 turnovers, and he was still, in the minds of the adoring press and public, the errorless Jordan. Scottie was also pissed that Jordan received $10 million for his involvement in the documentary, while he and the rest of the Bulls got nothing. Pip wasn't done.
Oh, no, ain't no way. No, that's wild. Okay, yeah. Man, they doing Scottie dirty for sure with the finances. Oh, ain't no way. What? Okay, now that's wild. What? MJ got 10 million, everybody else got nothing? Oh, man. Oh, I know they was sick. Oh, my goodness. Man, that's tough. Yo, I ain't gonna lie, they was doing Scottie dirty with the finances. Man, he got nothing? Yo, that's wild. Oh, man, that is wild. Whoa.
Involvement in the documentary, while he and the rest of the Bulls got nothing. Pip wasn't done there, and he also unloaded on Phil Jackson during an interview with Dan Patrick.
No, I understand that, Scottie. I'm just going by what you said. You said you need to read between the fine lines. It was a racial move to give Tony Kukoc a rise.
So, I mean, if you knew that Scottie Pippen had been with the Bulls from 87, wouldn't you give Scottie Pippen one opportunity to get a last-second shot without Michael Jordan?
But have you talked to Phil about this? Because by saying a racial move, then you're calling Phil a racist.
I don't got a problem with that.
Scottie took shots at Charles Barkley, calling him not dedicated enough to win a title, and Isaiah Thomas, whom he called a dirty player.
Okay. See, this go back to my comment earlier. You see all these comments? He was trying to bring attention to himself for his book. You see, he was calling everybody out. Yeah, I honestly think this was the case with Scottie. I think he really was just trying to bring attention to himself for his book. I mean, he's not like the first celebrity or athlete I saw do that. Like, he's not the first one I saw do that. So I honestly think that was just the case with Scottie. Man, Scottie talked about Phil Jackson, Charles Barkley, and Zeke, also Isaiah Thomas, if you didn't know that was his nickname. Man!
Not dedicated enough to win a title, and Isaiah Thomas, whom he called a dirty player. However, while we do agree that The Last Dance was overly centered on Jordan, and that there is a lot of truth in Pippen's words about the documentary, we can't escape the feeling that Scottie overreacted. In the doc, MJ still said there is no Jordan without Pippen. The Last Dance covered how underpaid Pippen was, and his success as the leader of the Bulls without Jordan. Phil Jackson called Scottie the second best player in the league, and the doc mentioned Pippen guarding Magic in the '91 finals instead of Jordan, a key moment that turned the series around. So for Scottie to be going on this kind of media rampage, it just feels like a bit too much. We understand that it's hard to be the Robin to Jordan's Batman and live constantly in his shadow, and then relive that all over again in the documentary. But after the dust settled and all the insults had landed, it sounds like Pippen was just trying to say outlandish quotes to sell more copies of his book. And throughout all of Pippen's badmouthing, Jordan never said another word publicly. There was no statement, trash-talking, or even acknowledging that Pippen suddenly turned into his biggest hater. It was only a sign that all the bridges were burned and that their relationship was broken beyond repair. To add insult to injury, in 2022, MJ's son Marcus Jordan started dating Scottie's ex-wife, Larsa Pippen, which certainly didn't feel good for her ex-husband. Wherever Scottie looked, Jordan was sticking it to a Pippen, and it seems like his anger towards MJ will not stop anytime soon.
Shout out to Nonstop Sports. That was a great breakdown of like the Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen situation. That was a great video. But like the guy in the video was saying at the end, I do think Scottie Pippen overreacted. And also, like I said earlier in the video, I think he was just saying that just to bring more attention to him so people could buy his book. I honestly think that was just the case. Now, that Last Dance, it was entertaining. Now, I do understand why the teammates was mad. But like the guy said, it did highlight and mention Scottie Pippen year without Michael Jordan. Phil Jackson did call him the second best player in the NBA. In my opinion, I think Scottie Pippen underrated. I don't think Scottie Pippen get enough credit. Honestly, that's my opinion. I don't think he get enough credit because some people, when they bring up Michael Jordan, they forget. I'm just knowing the conversations I've been with people who talk about Michael Jordan. They just forget about his teammates and they forget about Scottie Pippen. And Michael Jordan all the time say he would accomplish nothing without Scottie Pippen. So yeah, I agree. Jordan needed Pippen, Pippen needed Jordan. Like, come on. That's what great duos do. They help each other. That's what the best two players on your team supposed to do. Help each other out. So drop down in the comments below your thoughts about this video, your thoughts about Scottie Pippen, Michael Jordan. Do you think the beef was serious? Do you think Scottie Pippen overreacted? Did you have any problem with how he reacted? Did you like The Last Dance? Did you think there was some flaws? I'm just curious to see what everybody thought, and I hope everyone have a blessed day. I'm out.